Yeah, there's just perceiving. It's just perceiving, and
Yeah.
nothing is perceived. Nothing is perceived, and nobody's perceiving. So everything is nothing already. What seems to be labels may seem to arise when there's that perceiving, and they may seem as if they may be projected from nothing, and then it may seem as if they are real things because of those labels. But the perceiving itself, uh, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have labels. So everything is seen as just nothing. Things may be seen as things when there's a label. There are labels that seem to be projected. But the perceiving itself sees nothing at all. It's just perceiving. I am perceiving is imaginary. So there's nothing here. And nothing is happening unless a thought arises and say, no, something is happening. But when we get back to the perceiving as it is, perceiving itself, uh, there's nothing happening. So thoughts can be seen as just appearances in this perceiving. They appear and so something is happening, the wind is blowing, I'm not feeling well. So even those, even that's what seems to arise, is also seen as just perceiving, arising, or appearing as that. So I would say there's just a screen. There's just a screen, and there's nobody in it. Everything appears in it and disappears.
They
Like a computer screen. So
I've done a research on the brain, and essentially, your eyes, what comes through to your eyes goes through to sort of a central processing system. But what they've just, and the central processing system is kind of in the middle of your brain. But what they've discovered is at the same time that you're viewing things, there's way, way more information and energy coming from, the back of your brain to that central processing system than is coming through your eyes. So the mind is doing more work simulating and interpreting and putting its truth on top of what comes into your eyes than your eyes are doing, then your brain is doing actually interpreting what it sees.
yeah,
And they did a study. Some guy lost his eyesight when he was 3.5. And then when he was an adult, about 50, they uh they were able to restore his eyesight just through some sort of, I don't know how the hell they did it, but it was terrible for him because he
Mm.
could not process, he had no depth perception.
Yeah.
He couldn't recognize his children. He could never
Mm.
remember his children, like, uh by looking at them. I remember them by the sound of their voices. He could not learn to read.
Yeah.
So much of the world that we live in is simulation, learned information from, as you say, labels, actual inherent information. Color doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Then it's just a knowledge in the memory. As soon as you perceive, there's perceiving, then a knowledge in the memory may seem to say, "Oh, that's a computer screen." But it's actually nothing. It's actually nothing.
And the knowledge and the memory is what traps us, what makes our entire universe. That's the universal trap.
Yeah. 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 You know,
It's
things
conditioned.
as they are. Oh, sorry.
No, no, you go ahead.
Things are just as they are, but the knowledge in the memory, which is not even there, may seem to say lots of things about what is being perceived. But that which is perceived is already as it is. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say, like a wall doesn't say it's a wall. It doesn't know itself as a wall. But as you have said, the the knowledge seems to come up. I can't go through it because it's solid. That's a limitation that seems to arise in this knowledge, or should I say a program. But when all that falls away, we may seem to do things that other people are unable to do.
Yeah.
So, like a cat doesn't say it's a cat. It's just what is. It is just the way it is. It's not trying to do anything to. It's just you know. It's just the way it is. It's not even a cat. So some animals may seem to suffer because of the projection or the knowledge, the wrong knowledge, what seems to be a wrong knowledge about them. When you see a cockroach, then chase it away and try and kill it. But it doesn't even know if it's a cockroach or what. It doesn't know itself. It's just living. So things are not what they are known to be. Like in the case of a newborn baby can just see things, you know. It's not trying to hold on to anything. It's just, it's watching without interest. And times maybe the interest may arise, but it's not sticky. It's not doesn't stick. It's just I don't know what word to use
Sticky works.
for excitement about what is being watched.
Everything is the light that animates and nothing more.
Yeah, it's the watcher. The watcher is also being watched. The watcher is not an ultimate because the watcher may seem to be there, but it's never really there.
When I was a kid, I liked this comic book artist named Jack Kirby. He drew things in the 60s. You probably recognize his style. He did a lot of the old, Fantastic Four and uh, Thor and all these sort of things. Is just a very distinct style. And he had some series of I don't know. Did you probably I don't know if you did you read comics growing up? Maybe not. You're too young. You probably saw the movies. This is kind of his style. I can't see it very well. I don't know. The whole you can see the Hulk. You can't really see it very well. Anyway, he used to have a series of a universe called the Eternals, and it would just he would half the stuff took place in space, and the space stuff was all this bizarre, psychedelic, gorgeous. And one of the characters was just called the Watcher. One of the superheroes was called a Watcher, and the Watcher didn't do anything. The Watcher, they would just like sometimes they would just like this big guy with a big head show up. The Watcher, and they would, like talk about the Watcher, and the Watcher never said anything, and he never did anything. And at 5 years old, that just blew my head. I was like, "Wow, the Watcher!" Such
So
a great
he was
character.
one of the superheroes.
I mean, I think it was supposed to be a metaphor for God. I mean, that's the only that they was putting on kids. I mean, the guy was clever. But to me, it was just sort of. So here's the Watcher. Here's with a big head. Can't really see. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I can see. I can see.
Anyway, there's a.
Oh, I would love to watch that movie.
I don't know if they made movies of his. I don't watch superhero movies.
I know.
I just remember the old comics. But I
Mm.
tried to watch them with my kids, and there's too much like.
Fireworks.
Fireworks, too many fireworks. Yeah. Uh,
Mm.
but the Watcher is a nice metaphor. And sometimes I think in the back of my head, it's because reading those comics at 5, 6 gets embedded in your sort of psychic memory. And I think that sometimes when I'm able to rest in perception only, that metaphor somehow was in the background somewhere. So
Yeah.
you're the Watcher. I finally met the Watcher. It's in Kosi. Your head's smaller than I thought it would be.
But it's almost as big as that one, the of the Watcher. Maybe I should play that character if
Yeah, that
a
would be good.
movie
That
is
would be
about.
perfect. They wouldn't even have to write your lines. You would just say, it's all this, show up on set.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, I was kind of into comic books. Charlie Kremenek was into comic books, and he's 4 years older than I am. So when I'm 5, 6, he's 9, 10. He can read a lot better than me and do everything quite a bit better than me, right? But is influencing my view of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's always that watching that is ever present. It's ever present. I should say, in a way, it is your resting place. You know, That's watching is always there. When the activity or the one who seems to be moving through time and space gets tired in a way in the story, then that resting place is always there. It doesn't come and go. It's just there. It watches all the activity, all the movement without interest. It's not trying to change what is being watched. And it says that which seems to be it says that which seems to be an activity as its own self. In a way, it doesn't see the activity, it sees itself, because there's just one thing. It's just the whole um, undivided spaciousness. So even what seems to appear in the spaciousness is also spaciousness. It's not different from it. So this watching and what is being watched is the same. So there's just perceiving and nothing is perceived. There's no perceiver. It's undisturbed silence that is ever present. There's nothing special. It may seem to dream itself as somebody who's going through time and space, but it's always itself. It has never been anything else but itself. It has never been a human being. It has never been separate from itself. It's always itself. So when it seems as if it's divided, it's when it plays, it's in the play of itself. Then it may seem to uh, play a game of forgetting itself and remembering itself.
You know, this morning in the forest, I couldn't go to my old forest. I went to my backyard, and I'm sitting there and looking at these trees, and I see the silence. It's cold. It's below freezing. I see the silence. I just see the silence in those trees. I feel the presence of those trees. I feel that reflected on myself. I reflect on God, and I start daydreaming about my day. I think about what might happen. I think about, discussions with my business partner. I think about, and then all of a sudden I'm like, and they're looking at the trees again and feeling the silence. And I could grasp on to that daydream, thinking about my day, and I could chastise myself for it. I could wonder where it came from. It's gone. Just let it go, and there's the trees and the silence again. But the stuff from the mind will still, it'll still, you don't have to engage it, but it still spins, it still spins.
Yeah. So if I may ask, when you are meditating, uh, when there's silence, which is always there, well, the image of yourself, it remains there, or it just dissipates.
The image of myself being what?
Being Charles.
No, there's no thought of Charles.
Mm.
But then there will be a thought of Charles. Then the mind will spin, and when the mind spins, it's Charles.
Mm.
And then when it relaxes, it's still sort of Charles. I think, oh, I was thinking about that, but then I can rest into, enjoying the forest again. But if I go out into the forest for half an hour, there's going to be at least 10 minutes of spinning.
Yeah.
And sometimes the spinning are things I need to think about. Sometimes the spinning will actually be like, oh shit, I should give somebody a call, or whatever, or things that,
Yeah.
but then sometimes it's just daydreaming. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. That's that's this.
Yeah, exactly. What is seen here right now, as there's talking happening. What is seen is just silence talking, not Charles. Charles has never existed. There is no such thing called chance. There's just silence. Silence talking, silence thinking, silence meditating already. That's what is seen here now. So everything is already okay.
Yeah.
That sense of okayness arises as a result of seeing silence, talking, thinking, laughing. This is seeing itself, is seeing beauty of itself. Already, with or without meditation, there is already silence.
I like to notice it. But the one that notices it is an illusion. It's already there anyway.
Yeah, it's already there. It's already silence trying to look for itself. It's already silence
So you
trying
realize
to
this
find
throws
silence.
morality completely out the window, right?
Sorry, come again?
You realize that this throws morality completely out the window.
Yeah, sometimes, when I give answers, I may seem, I may make it seem as if really there's somewhere to to go to. There is a place to go to. There's somewhere to reach or some goals to achieve. But really, there's nothing to do because the doer is already not there. Or should I say the doer is already silence, is already this. So there's no doer in that sense. So there's just silence. It pervades everything. That everything as well is already silence. So it pervades nothing. So to say everything is this from that seeing, yeah, it's beautiful. So it doesn't really matter if somebody argues with you or trying to trap you or to get you in any way. It doesn't really matter because it's just silence. Everything is beautiful. Everything is already this. There isn't a you already.
Well, I wish it would shut up then.
So to know that you'll never lose your family because there's no family. It's just yourself. When we refer to those, when you say those who have passed on, I would say silence recognizes itself that it has never been a human being. It has always been itself. So all beings, so to say, they are always okay. They are always okay.
I have a friend